All right, so you got your one opportunity to write a screenplay. And do you mind talking about money, or is that something you want to kind of keep quiet, even on the early stuff?
I can tell you what I was told. I have no idea if what I was told about the budget at the beginning was the same at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning, they were talking about a $300,000 budget, and I think it ballooned up from there. I'm pretty sure. I have no idea what it ended up being at the end. Of course, as a writer, you work with them before, early on in the process. You complete your draft, you turn it in, and then you sit around and the film comes out and you're like, oh, that's what you did with it,
Mm-hmm.
So that's, you're usually out, once you turn in that final draft, you're usually out of the process.
So by doing that one project, that kind of you just kept getting work from that producer, or how did you get the next handful?
It was all kind of linked together. There were a couple other projects that came from that producer.
Mm-hmm.
There were other people that worked on that production in other capacities that went on to do other jobs that ended up reaching out to me and said, hey, I really like what you did here. You're easy to work with. I like how you collaborate. I have this idea, or I'm working with this, or I've got this business partner. He wants to do this thing. Let's explore this idea. And it kind of ballooned out from there. So it was these links and chains. And then a couple of times there were instances where I saw somebody that was working on a project that I liked, and I just contacted them, online, and just said, hey, I really like what you're doing. This is a lot like the type of stuff that I enjoy doing. Here's my IMDb. If you're ever looking for another writer in the future, I'd love to work with you. And once or twice, they've come back. They haven't all worked out as far as getting all the way through production. But, just keeping an eye out, just being a fan, just saying, I like what you're doing. I want to be a part of it. Here's what I've done so far. If you'd love to want to collaborate, I'm here,
So you're basically, you're hustling, sir.
Yes. At times, and again, it's kind of funny because one thing that I've had to accept is I'm getting on in my years. I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm now doing the daddy thing and the husband thing. Yes, seasoned like a great chicken or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know, but I've had to manage my expectations a little bit more. What I think it's really important, at least for me in my career, to identify what am I willing to sacrifice to get my goals. What am I not willing to sacrifice?
As you get older, that does become very important.
It changes. I'm willing to sacrifice a lot to achieve my screenwriting dreams. I'm not willing to sacrifice my relationship with my wife. I'm not willing to sacrifice my relationship with my kids. That means that sometimes my indie film hustle turns into a little bit more of an indie film shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
It's filmmaking over 40, indie film shuffle, but it changes, you have to be at peace with that too. So as long as you're willing to establish, what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're not willing to sacrifice, and then work towards that and be at peace with the rest, you can manage your expectations a little bit better from there.
I think as you get older, you start to realize, at least I have, that you start defining what happiness is for you, and you start defining what not only what you're willing to do, what kind of BS you're willing to put up with, if any, as you get older. But that tolerance level goes way down than it used to. Like things I did in my 20s, I would shoot somebody now if I had to do, because I just don't have the patience for that anymore.
Yeah, I don't got time for foolishness anymore.
Yeah, I just don't. And just understanding the definition of what makes you happy is so powerful, man, because I really hope I really hope that people out there can just dive into that one question, like, what makes me happy? Like, what do I really need to be happy? And do I have to live in the Hollywood Hills and make $1 billion? Sure, that's a dream. If you want it to be a dream, great. Is it going to really make you happy? What are the chances of you getting to that point in this lifetime, you have to be honest with yourself. I'm all
Yeah.
about chasing that dream. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
That's what my whole thing is about. But be, like I always say, like follow your dream, but don't be an idiot. So.